Following this, we are going to start with the invocation and pledge of allegiance. I want you to say the invocation. Get it done.
Can't push my chair. There we go. Got it? Where's your pen? Oh.
All right. Dear Heavenly Father, give us the strength to follow your ways, teachings, and your path so that we can make good decisions to support our constituents in the town, the residents, the businesses, and all our lovely visitors. Trust in you. Amen. Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. That was rich.
Good.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. So I am the acting mayor tonight. Alex is out. So we'll call the meeting to order. Are there any amendments to the agenda? I have discussion item only, just to kind of bring up later. Anybody else have anything? All right, for discussion, we wanted to talk about the thought of festivals returning. It was requested by Mr. Basic, and I told him that I would bring it to our attention. We are not voting on it tonight. It's just a thought of where do we want to go with this? What do we want it to be? How are we going to make it happen? What's it going to cost? Because I'm not doing it for free. Okay. All right, anything else to be added to the agenda? Any action items, any discussion items? Is that it? All right, moving on. Public comment, there is no public here. So we will move on. Where's the roll call on here?
It's not, that was on the last agenda.
It's usually.
I was following the paper. Roll call. All right. Donna Wilkerson. Here. Angela Golden.
Here.
David Carpenter.
Present.
Monica Chanel. Here. Alex Long, absent. All right. Reports of members of the town council. We'll start with David. Do you have anything you wanted to share with the town council?
I bought plants and will be manicuring the well for the season. Out of my pocket, yeah. The one that was dedicated to my grandma.
Oh, that one.
That one, that, the one with the, and I'm gonna trim the tree.
All right. Done. No report. Angie?
I guess you all can see by now the pavilion has been delivered. And the shed has been delivered. And where the old tree was, it was Joe's. Like, the reason why we moved the pavilion is because where we were going to place it in the beginning, there's a well back there. And we do not know whether it's a dry well or whether it's a working well. So we said to be on the safe side, we moved the pavilion, and then Joe. Where the pavilion is over the old tree, it's over the stump.
Mm.
So more things will be coming in increments, I suppose.
Okay. Is it appropriate to do discussion items at this time with her report?
If there are questions.
Angie, it came up today about the money for the ARPA funds. in the budget, it's not recorded as ARPA. I asked Jackie to go back and check to see if it was under CARES.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know, do we have separate monies, CARES and ARPA?
As far as I know, we do. It's been-
Separate funds.
Yes. As far as I know.
Jackie doesn't have any record.
Well, all I have, what do you, when you say care funds, what is that?
Donna was explaining it earlier, that the CARES Act was the money that was sent out in 2020. Follow-up money was ARPA money in, I guess, 2022.
To help people pay their water bills.
Oh,
So
okay,
we
no,
use that for-
I don't know what Jackie's done. I know that, or what wasn't done. I know that I was only going off of ARPA funds and not CARES fund. Didn't we
Okay.
finish up the money for the CARES Act?
Yeah,
Yeah, so all that money is gone.
Okay.
So the ARPA money, it was, I have the exact amount written down, but it was like 119,000. And that came in 22. And
may have been put under.
it's also in
general
the,
money or something.
I went back and looked on the agendas, on some of the agendas all the way back to 22. And it's mentioned more than once, several times actually.
As ARPA,
Mm-hmm.
in the bank statements or in the?
Oh, no, I don't know about
In
the
the
bank
minutes.
statements.
You
I'm
mean in
sorry.
the
Yeah,
minutes.
in the minutes, yes. And yeah.
Mhm.
You know, I went back and looked. All I know is from the 119,000 that we got from ARPA, we started deducting from that, and that included the roof, the defibrillator, and so on and so forth. And John knows I'm working with John. I will give him the exact budget on the 26th when we meet.
Yep.
But I was aware of how much money there was to spend. We took it down to the last minute before we would have to give the money back.
And it's my understanding,
Corporate expense.
it's my understanding that money
Yeah.
may show up
Expense.
in one of your certificates of deposit. You've got several certificates of deposit that we haven't been able to unravel yet as to where the money came from. We've got to go back and do some research on that so that you all have a good accounting of what's in your certificate of deposits and where it's supposed to be, if it's going to be spent on anything, where it can be spent. Okay?
And most of it came from like, we just took extra money and that was Alice can probably tell you where all of it came from. Just me pretty
And
much.
I took the ARPA money all the way back to the frog. The green frog. Really green frog.
Yeah, I remember that, but I don't know.
So this will be for John to look in, because David and I were not on council, and,
Yeah, it's another thing to unravel, I think.
right, I wouldn't think that it's in the CDs because of the nature of the money, but I'm not gonna swear to anything.
I don't think it would be in the CDs. I
Um,
can't speak, I don't know.
Yeah, I would have no idea. So anyway, she did not find any deposits at all going back at any time for ARPA.
I'll check into it because the money's there. Because we had to have paid for the roof and the painting and other stuff.
Well,
And
she's
somehow-
taking money out. She just doesn't have a fund to take it from. She's paid them.
Oh,
But, so something's mislabeled or something.
Well, that's what happened before. She wasn't like the CARES Act. She wasn't setting that up separate.
Mhm.
And we had to like tell her a few times about that.
Yeah, she said she had 39,000 under CARES Act, but you're saying 119. I have no idea.
No, the
what
CARES
number.
Act is totally different from ARPA.
she had
Let's go.
119.
And ARPA came in, I believe, April of 2022.
Okay.
Because remember Alex said she needed to record that separate.
And yeah, she didn't.
I don't know where it would be.
So, but she's done that before, right?
Yeah, the CARES Act. She finally got that much better.
Because remember when she put in there, there was a discrepancy, I think in January, there was an $18,000 discrepancy because it showed that it was taken out of the account. You remember that? And then it dawned on me that that was the money that we spent on the shed in the pavilion. So it just looked like $18,000 was just gone.
Right.
Yeah, we'll sort through that. We'll get you an
Yeah.
accurate account.
Mm-hmm. Okay, just wanted to bring that up, that there's a little issue
Yeah,
with the tracking.
The money
big
somewhere.
issue, the big
We
issue.
believe, we truly believe.
We
the
just gotta
money
find where it's at.
in there, so, and that's something that we'll have to watch more closely moving forward to make sure that it is showing up every month
Mhm.
with the deductions every month, and that is not happening at this time. All right, Angie, anything else?
Nice.
Okay. Consent agenda to accept the minutes from last month.
I'll make a motion.
A second.
All right. Any discussion? Are we ready to vote?
Do have one question.
Okay, go
That is of the recodification and reaching out to Municode, which we've already done once, I think. I think what the problem was, there were a lot of our codes that needed to be
Updated.
updated and everything, so that's why we were just gonna redo them, which Allison's husband has started doing that for us. We were supposed to be paying him, but now he's not gonna charge us. But, he did a lot of work on that.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Turn around. Start with Donna.
I accept them.
Angie,
Yes.
David,
Yes.
Monica, yes. Unanimous. Okay, now it says also to, approve the minutes of January 24th. The 25 remain pending. Did we not approve those? I thought we
Yeah, they
did.
haven't been done yet because I think they're on here. Just
They
got
haven't
this
been-
today.
Oh, they still haven't been, so we're gonna still pin those over?
Yes, we are.
All right, so these are still pending. All right, financial report. Anything on top of ARPA funds that anybody has concerns about? Can I ask about the defibrillator? Where is that?
Right there. Has it been?
Down in the box?
See it in-
Oh, it
okay.
just hasn't been mounted.
Yeah.
It's in the,
Mhm.
oh,
That's
the
in
white
that
box.
place. Yeah.
Was there a special place that the council wanted it now?
Well, we were just gonna, like,
We just wanted it mounted and we wanted.
like as you come in the door, but that needs to go to historic court,
Yeah, we
because
had-
that's their coat hanger thingy.
We
Yeah.
had to learn, we wanted to learn how to use it in case we needed to.
Okay, we can reach out to fire rescue and they could come in and do a hands-on,
Although
Training.
I've had it.
free of charge. Yeah,
It tells you really what to do.
yeah, but you just wanna be able to
Yeah.
be familiarized, because they have a test one they'll bring in.
Do we want to schedule that for our next meeting?
Sure.
Takes
Just
about,
let 'em
what,
break-
15 minutes?
Yeah,
We'll put that on the agenda.
and then we'll have it just mounted in that corner.
We just love doing TV.
Okay, and
It's not that simple anymore.
Not like,
Okay,
all right, any other questions, comments about,
Will you be reaching out to fire rescue?
I can.
would you say that?
Okay. Yeah.
I can just go JP.
Well, I'll call Mark. And their next meeting is still gonna be,
Yes, we only did this one because
because he will be up.
he's gonna be out.
Okay.
So our next one will be the fourth Friday in April. Okay. Do we have a motion to accept the financials? Or do we want to pen them over?
No, it's not good.
I went through them with what I saw online, the email. So I'll second.
It's not showing the ARPA money.
I know, that's the
They're
only
down
thing.
here for some,
We've got ARPA expenses on here, but we don't have.
We don't have the fund, the general fund.
I see down here, it says corporate expenses, ARPA funds, that
That's
20,000.
the expense. We don't have
But-
income.
Does anyone want to make a motion to pen them until next month, so there can be more investigation?
Yes, I'll
Okay.
make a motion.
Exactly.
Okay. I'll in,
These are from July.
uh-huh,
Well, this doesn't make any sense at all.
yeah. We'll go the other way. We are, because it's such a small group, we're not doing the groups, so we're doing individuals. David, how do you go? To pen these
To
until
pen it.
next month
Until investigation.
for the investigation of the
I agree.
ARPA funds.
All for
Okay, Angie?
Penned it.
Yep. Donna?
I agree with them.
I do too, unanimous. We are pending that. Next one. Okay. All right, moving on next, report concerning the town attorney. I believe that goes to you.
Okay, I have been reaching out to firms that deal mostly with smaller local governments. And I have one proposal that's come in. This is for on-call services, not to be at every meeting.
Right.
This is for on-call services and
Mhm.
special questions. I have one proposal in the door. One firm declined to provide a proposal. The third firm, which would have been a really good one, is in the general area. They are closing their doors on March 31st. So I'm going to be reaching out to Montrose, which has a small town, see who their town attorney is, and see if that individual may have some interest in
Okay.
serving. And so you need to be able, I think, to compare more than you have to be able to compare one or two firms against one another to see who you would like to work with,
Right.
because it's got to be somebody you're comfortable with, because these are your legal advisors.
Mhm.
And it would, a smaller town like that would be
Yep.
comparable.
Yep. So I'll have more to go for you in April.
Okay.
And you don't have any legal issues pending right now. There's no threat of litigation that I'm aware of.
Okay.
And there's certainly no personnel actions. So I think we're in pretty good shape from a legal standpoint right now.
Okay. All right, moving on to town manager, clerk, zoning administrator report.
Okay, real quick, I've divided this up into my report up into I think 3 or 4 sections. Finance, I'm working on your fiscal 26 budget. If any of y'all have anything you want to put into the budget, please let me know. Okay, because that needs to go into what I'm gonna propose or present to you, okay? I don't know how y'all have done it in the past, but I'm used to drafting up a budget with an explanation of why it is what it is, and then providing it to the governing body, answering the governing body's questions, and then the governing body adjusts as they wish,
Right.
okay? It's your budget, it's not mine, so. But if you have anything that you think you'd like to put into the budget, let me know, because I need to include that, and we'll do an explanation on it for the rest of the council, okay?
Okay.
Tax rates, I finally found your ordinance that was completed in December of 2024, and I'm just about done with a table that lists all of your tax rates so that they're in one place, and you'll all have a copy of them too. I think it's important for y'all to have a copy of them
Mhm.
and for them to be be in one place. I've had to dig and really try to find stuff since I've
Right.
been here, and the ordinance is pretty comprehensive, but all the rates are there, so I'll have that table for you here very soon.
The business license, in the past, it was the front you filled out, and on the back side was supposed to be the list of the taxes, how much to pay. Has that been corrected? Because the ones in the library only had the front.
I don't believe that's been corrected. Those
Okay.
forms will have to be reprinted, and I've got to find out who your printer is. Yeah, I had a problem with your copy machine today, and there's no record of where the copy machine was purchased and who services it. You know,
Nobody services it.
nobody services
We
it.
never got around to that. Nope.
So
We
the
were in the
great,
process of getting somebody to
okay,
come out and service stuff. It's no, and they were mostly bought at what, Best Buy? Between Staples and Best Buy.
real.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Yeah,
They're just regular.
and if a lot of them, they use the phone number as the account. Hopefully whoever did it used the town phone number. You can try it that way. I know that everywhere I go, they say, which phone number?
It's a really nice copier, but
That's what we just got.
it wasn't printing today from the laptop. And I finally figured it out, got it working, but I'm not the guy you really want working on that copier. So we'll follow through with that too. Okay.
Yeah, and Geek Squad will come out here if we need to.
That's another thing, we should have an IT.
Yes,
That's what
I'm working on that
that's what
too.
process is.
Yes, it's noted in here, you need a more robust IT system with an on-call person if you kind of go down.
Yes.
I think I read that in one of the emails that was sent out.
Yeah, well, when I went to Bowling Green as the interim manager, my IT guy was sitting over there in the corner. If we hadn't had him, we would have been in a world of hurt. But here, I think it's good to have somebody on call and have a relationship, so we'll begin
Right.
developing that as well. Fiscal year 22, 23, 24, and 25 audits. I've commented to the auditor on the fiscal 22 audit. That should be complete very soon. That's important because the Virginia Resources Authority, U.S. Department of Agriculture need to have those on a periodic basis to know that you're still keeping money in the bank and that your finances are in good shape. So 23 is in process. The auditor has all the information. 24 and 25, in talking to the auditor who is up in Maryland, Audrey Davis, you don't have a continuing agreement with her. So I wanted to find out from the council, do you want to get proposals for an auditor?
Guess we're gonna have to.
Okay, I'll go ahead and move forward with that as well. But I just want you to be aware of that because we've got to get all of those up to date. I mean, your budget's not that big. There's not a whole lot of hands in the pot. There's very little room for anything to go wrong unless you get the wrong person in the seat in my office. And then things can go kind of squirrely. But the fact of the matter is, everything looks good right now. So we'll work on that. The annual insurance renewal with Virginia Versa, we had a questionnaire on that. That was pending when I arrived, updating all of the values of the property and staff and things like that. That's been completed and sent off to Versa. So we have a quote. And Versa is part of the Virginia Municipal League. It's a really good program. It's a very efficient program. It's a very low cost program. They provide a lot of good services to folks. Yes, ma'am.
That's insurance like for the town hall.
That's property, general liability, errors and omissions insurance, workers' compensation insurance, everything that the town does.
What about the?
Pavilion and the shed.
That's added.
Huh?
All right.
Yeah,
we
yeah.
don't know. I'm talking about the same time.
Yeah. Okay. So that's underway. expenditure and revenue activities. All your invoices and receipts are up to date. They've been paid. I had a couple that were outstanding for a couple of months. I've still got one pending. I've got to find out more information on, but everything seems to be up to date. Everything's in the bank. I'm working with Jackie on getting it into the right accounts, and so everything seems to be working well there. And I would say that she's very good to work with. I think a lot of it would be, a lot of any difficulties you might have would be her getting the initial guidance.
Telling her where to
Correct.
put.
Initial guidance, yeah.
Mhm.
I talked a little bit about updating, BPOL and meals tax processes and checklists for that. Since you've only got one person who's doing this work, it's really nice to have a checklist because there's a whole lot of stuff to keep in your head. So I'm developing checklists about deadlines, and I'm actually recreating the list for both meals tax and BPOL to see who's paid, when they paid. It doesn't have anything about how much they paid because you don't want that, to become public. You can't let it become public information, but that's being developed as well. And that's going to be helpful to your new manager coming in because, I've got very little on that stuff. I've got partial lists of everything, but no complete list of anything. So, I've also developed, and this was harder for me, not hard to do, but it was hard when I got here because, hey, you're the treasurer. You got to take care of invoices and deposits and all that type of stuff. And, I sat down and said, okay, where is all this stuff? And it's coming through emails. It's coming through your charges through the bank. It's coming in the mail. And so I'm consolidated all of those, where everything is coming from. So the new manager coming in understands what they've got to do. They've got to check all of those. And then I've set up the process that they have to do on a weekly basis to get the stuff to Jackie, which is really a godsend. I tell you, if you had me writing checks, you'd never get it done, I'll tell you. But she's really good to work with. All I have to do is code the invoices, code the revenues, endorse the checks when we have revenues. And so that works out really well. But I've got a weekly checklist for the new manager to follow. Town manager recruitment, which is something I think you all are very interested in. Okay. You authorized at the last meeting $900 of advertising expenses. We're about $105 under that. We've advertised with the Virginia Municipal League, which was free because you're members of the Virginia Municipal League, with the Virginia Association of Counties, which was $100, with VACO, with the American Planning Association, which was, $195. And then we did an ad in the Freelance Start, which automatically goes to their electronic platform. And it was advertised 2 Sundays ago in the paper. And the advertising person I was working with said that will get the most exposure. And then when they got it on their platform, it goes out to 300,000 subscribers. So what have we received to date? Okay, it says in my memorandum I sent out to you, you've got 3 applications. Actually, you've got 4. Right? There was one here when I arrived this morning. 3 of the 4 are very good candidates. I would say very good candidates for a town this size. 2 of them are retired folks. One lives south of here. One lives near here. The other one is a younger person who has done not internships, but apprenticeships, internships in local government, and is really seems like a very sharp guy. Before you say, oh, young guy, I was the recruiter when the town manager down in Warsaw was hired. And I think you remember Warsaw maybe 15 years ago. Wasn't really as nice as it is today. He's been there for about 12 years or so, and that town has really transformed itself, and it's running like a clock. So don't, if this person, and you can't tell by the resume that you receive, but if this person has the energy, has the interest, has the enthusiasm to do the job, it could be the right fit. I don't know.
Mhm.
I haven't talked to him yet. You haven't talked to him. And then I have a guy that called me. He is a part-time town manager in another northern neck community. And he has done an excellent job in that community as well. Actually, he called me on Tuesday from Port Royal. He got the ad through LinkedIn, and he drove up here to see what it looked like. And he was standing down on the pier, and we were talking, and I'm expecting that he will probably apply as well. And we were talking about ways I could work, because he's working about 25 hours per week in in the current community he's in. It's a small community. So, if he worked 25, 30 hours per week here, which is a lot longer than I'm working here on a weekly basis, he'd get a lot more done, and he'd have a full-time job between the two communities. And he'd be that's really good, because he'd be hooked into VML and all the grant programs and stuff that's going on in the field. I'm a little bit farther removed from that because, I'm a senior guy. So that's a possibility. So you may have 5 applications, and you've still got, today is the 21st, you've got 3 weeks before the deadline ends.
Right.
So I'm pleasantly surprised. Ms. Gold and I were talking today, and when I did the city of Raleigh's recruitment for city manager, we had about 20 applications for the city of Raleigh, and one of them was the clerk from the Walgreen across the street from City Hall. And so it was actually 19. You got 4 decent candidates, and I think you have to recognize here in Port Royal, being as small as you are with the limited budget that you have, you are going to probably not get everything that every one of you envisions as the perfect manager, but you've got to be able to choose what are the best features of the manager you're looking for, and if that person will meet those criteria. So I'm feeling pretty good about it right now. Planning and zoning, I've met with or discussed zoning permits with 6 residents or prospective businesses. One zoning permit's been issued to Knowles Outdoor Equipment, which is at the old gas station down by the new service station. They also have a business license. They'll be selling whole house generators and riding lawnmowers and providing a service to the region. They have a service that goes out and takes care of the whole house generators. They have a letter for me which reminds them of signage requirements, lighting requirements, storage requirements, and they've been very good to work with. So they'll be coming on. I'm also working with a gentleman named Charles Salzgill, and he owns the property next to the post office, and he wants to turn that into an antique store. And he knows some people. When I was up in Fauquier and Warrenton, he knows John Adams, who is a pretty big deal up in Fauquier. And Virginia Gentleman, that family owned that company. Salzgiver tells me he's done a lot of work renovating the center up in Fredericksburg that they own, and seems to be an okay guy to work with. But he pledged to me this week that he would begin cleaning up the site. And when I went to the post office today,
They were over there today.
they were.
Yep.
Afternoon.
Oh, right before I got here.
What were
Oh.
they doing? Were they moving stuff around like he usually does?
Well, they were
He's
loading up
circulating.
some, they had a truck and
always do.
something in the back.
Excellent.
Mhm.
Well, that's
They
good
had a
news.
man living in
Thanks for letting me know that, because I was feeling kind of bad about that. 'Cause
There were several people over there loading big trucks.
he's got a professional engineer doing a site plan on that place because he wants to put the parking out back, and so I hope he follows through as he said he would. But that's really good news for me, because I really feel bad when I take somebody at their word and they don't follow through. And when I went by, just about 12 o'clock. I said, oh yeah, this is like, some of the folks I've dealt with in other communities. Yeah, I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get it. And they never get it, and you gotta get them.
Well, I mean, that might be just for show today, but I'm not sure what's gonna happen in the
Well,
Yeah,
future.
'cause it's been over 10 years.
Yeah. Well, I told him when he was in, I said, look, if you want to do anything with this building, like you say you want to do with this building, I said, you've got to give the town and the town council, you got to show them that you're willing to kind of clean up the site and you're going to invest some time in this.
Mhm.
And I said, next week would be a good time to do it. He says, okay, I'll get it done. So he's making it an effort. We'll see how far it goes, but that's kind of good news. I've also responded to a variety of questions concerning future building and site plan requirements as time permits. General administration, I'm still resetting and accessing usernames, PINs, and passwords for a variety of systems, everything from your ADT system that you have here for the cameras to your remote sensing devices that you have here for the well that tells you if the well's working or if it's not working, to the website. And so we're getting there, but it takes a little bit of time, and I can work with technology, but I'm not the most technologically adept person you'd want to have working on stuff. So we're getting there. I'm developing a library of passwords, PINs, and usernames to hand over to the new manager so that he or she doesn't have to jump into finding it and resetting everything. As I noted earlier, we're going to have to find somebody just on an on-call basis to be your technology backup, because if the system goes down, or you got a blip in it, that shuts everything down in today's world. So we're working on that. Spoke to a company today about a more robust website, and they're going to be sending a proposal in, which will allow you to get a lot of things on your website. And I was working with the GoDaddy site today a little bit. You can post videos to the GoDaddy site. It's just a matter, I'm still trying to get the password squared away on that.
Mhm.
And the GoDaddy website might be enough if I can find out some more information from them. We need to get your name, council members on there, your contact information. We need to get tax rates on there. We need to, if we can, we need to get applications for business licenses. We need to get forms on there. We need to get a more vigorous ability to send information out to citizens if you need to.
Yeah.
And in today's world, you can do all that. It's fairly easy to do if you got the right platform and the right website provider to work with. And the company I worked with today, they're very good. They do websites all over the country. And they deal with small local governments and big local governments, and they do a lot in Virginia. But they're just one provider. I'm talking to also the website down in Whitestone, little town down in Lancaster County on the bay. I know the person that did their website. I'm chairman of the Economic Development Authority in Middlesex, and she actually is one of our, she works with our website. So there are a number of folks out there that might be able to do it, but we've got to get something better because, your website is your window to the world. It's who you are to everybody that's looking for a place that says, oh, we're going to be passing through Port Royal. What's there? So we're working on that.
We just have to remember whoever we hire, they're still going to have to be a part of that. And
Yep.
if they're not
Yep.
doing that, it's going to be useless.
Yep. Recodification. I haven't heard from Unicode yet, but I've reached out to them. I've also given you my schedule for being here in the office through the end of April, and I posted it on the door today.
Yep.
If anybody can post it on the, now y'all mentioned at the last meeting, post stuff at the post office too.
Yeah.
Yes, but I don't have a key, and with me working up in Richmond, I leave before they open, they're closed when I get home.
Oh, well, I can do it. What do you do? Is there a board in there? You just.
There is a bulletin board with glass over it that's locked. So you have to go and get the clerk will give you the key, then you open, and they're push pins and everything already in there.
We have a key.
Key in the drawer.
There's a key in the
Well,
drawer.
nobody gave me
2
one, and they've been telling me, and I said there was nobody to share it
This is
with
the first
me.
time
There's
hearing
a
about
key,
it. There's a key in the drawer. I
Yeah,
mean, key in the drawer.
yeah, because I had to wait to ask the clerk last time. Well, like, I couldn't put anything up here. I taped it on the glass last time.
Well,
Someone put something in there.
Yeah, I did it the next day. I taped it on the glass first, and then I went in there. I think it was off that Friday or something, or Saturday morning. One of the days I went up there and got the clerk gave me.
They were in the drawer. Everything was in that drawer at one time.
Yeah, because I asked Alex, and he said I didn't know to, so.
I'll get that posted next week when I'm here on Wednesday.
Yeah, if you could do that, that'd be great. I can email you anything that I want, but you have access to do anything as well.
Mhm.
I am posting everything on Facebook, so it's Angie and I have access to
Good.
Facebook.
Yep.
We did, just to go back, we did get 500 and I think 89 hits on the job posting.
Really?
Yes.
Good. Excellent.
Yes, and the shed posting did very well as well, because Angie put picture, I guess it was you, Angie,
Mm-hmm.
put pictures of the shed. We got 674 for the shed and the pavilion. We have 3,100 followers on Facebook.
Good.
And that's the people, and if we tag stuff that say at all or at followers, it will go to all of them.
Okay.
And so we can get, it wouldn't be impossible for 10,000 hits.
Okay. Well, that ends my report.
Okay.
Now, and I did talk to Joey Chenault, not Joey Chenault,
Evil,
Joey at Public Utilities.
Sheeple.
Yes. Talked to Joey today. We're gonna get together on the water system next week. They operate it for you, but I need to understand it a little bit better. And we're also looking, Ms. Golden has taken the lead, as you know, with the ARPA funds of getting this building cleaned up and painted.
Wonderful.
And that was supposed to take place this week.
He came out
None-
Tuesday morning at 8 o'clock, and JP met him,
Mhm.
and apparently the water pressure comes out fine, and then it goes, "Doo,"
Uh-oh.
and he said it was going to burn his motor out. So he tried and tried, and it just kept going, "Doo." The pressure starts up fine, then it goes, "Doo." So he went back home to Bowling Green to see if it was his washers or anything, and it worked fine there. So I told him, then Joe said, well, see if Public Works can come out, and if he can attach something to that pump house over there, that's over there, the one with all the ivy growing over.
Mhm.
But we don't know. That's what we don't even know if there's a place to attach it. So they're going to come out Wednesday. So it's either going to be they can attach it to there and power wash the building, or we're going to have to hire someone else that has their own water tank
Right.
Mhm.
to come and power wash.
Another thing,
This guy's already been paid half.
JP.
Oh, I know. We'll have to adjust his last check.
Since JP was here, what about the connection on the firehouse right outside? Facing this direction.
Well, he
That's the
came
one
down,
we used.
he cut the water on the
Yeah.
fire. This was.
That's how we know we didn't have any. I'm sorry. Yeah,
Oh, that's the one you used?
that's the one we used.
Oh,
That's the one we
okay.
used.
Right outside in between the two buildings. Okay.
So we'll be meeting with the county next Wednesday and trying to solve the problem. If not, as Ms. Golden said, you're gonna have to find another provider who's got a tank and,
Mhm.
To do the pressure washing.
Mm-hmm.
We had 2 other people.
Hmm?
We had 2 other people, I think of the name of them.
And so the goal is to do the pressure washing before it's painted.
Correct.
Yes. He's got. Yeah, that's in preparation of.
All right. Anything else before we move on? Any questions for the town manager? Boards, commissions, agency representatives, and public hearings. Any reports? Okay. Action items. 30-15.1, Mayor Long requested that an action item specifically stating that the town manager is authorized to seek all help from law enforcement up to and including criminal charges to obtain all equipment and digital and financial records from the former town manager / clerk / treasurer / zoning administrator. Further, any manipulation or deletion of public records will be addressed by whatever civil or criminal penalties are available to be placed on the agenda for discussion and action by the council.
That's assuming that all that information we ever had anyway.
Right.
Yeah.
A lot of the
Or has it
information,
already been turned over?
what was here, Allison left here, and I explained to John, a lot of the information that Alice is looking for is in her head.
And I would say too, there's no inventory of equipment here, so you can't really know what you have and what you don't have. But we do have the recorder, we have the laptops,
Mhm.
there was no phone. The information which is on the laptops and in the files, there's in the files itself, for example, ARPA. There's not a big, thick file on ARPA, which I would have expected because there was a lot of mailings on ARPA about regulations and how to manage the money and things like that, but it's just not there. So, you know, I'm not sure that that's something that you can get from anywhere other than the agency that originally allocated it. It's not anything to do with the former town manager. I mean, it may not have been the best record keeping system, but it is what it is. So, and you know, from a password standpoint, we're working to avoid the problems that you're currently experiencing as a town, like creating lists that'll be, you know, secure lists, but they're all in one place. And so I don't know what else to say about that. I mean, the equipment, I think you got all the equipment, and I'm not sure you're going to get any information, and I'm not sure that there's any access anymore to the town systems from the former manager since she turned over all the equipment. So,
And I do know, as far as ARPA, I took a ARPA, not necessarily a class, but an informational, it's like an hour and a half. And so I could get a better understanding of what needs to be done and followed by the guidelines. But all of that's in my head too, so.
you know, and, you know, if the council wants to consider this came on the agenda late after the draft went out. If you want to defer this until the next meeting, I think that, you know, because we will have had a little bit more time to scope things out and retrieve some of those passwords and things like that.
It is unfortunate that here it is almost April and we still can't get into the website. We still can't get into these.
All it would have taken is an apology. That's it.
Yeah, but a lot of the passwords they were like in a file, especially to get on GoDaddy. Because we told
I have on GoDaddy how to.
what's her name that was the clerk. I can't tell you how many times she wasn't told the passwords and how to do it. And stuff never got on the account GoDaddy because we're supposed to be able to do all the people applications and everything on there. And I mean, she didn't post the minutes and you know, whatever we usually post on there, which I don't know because I didn't do it. But
I have got to get on to GoDaddy.
I mean, it's just.
Well, you know, the town is where it is right now, and things are turning around positively for you
Yeah.
as a governing body, so,
And I think your idea earlier of having like one person assigned to each subtopic area, like one person would be the town manager's backup for the website, and then another person
yeah.
for the financials, and another person for this, and another person, and that way we spread the love, and we don't lose some
So everybody's involved.
yes.
You know, and I'll tell you, I ran into a problem this week. There's a credit card charge which has been questioned.
Yes.
Okay, so I called the provider Atlantic Union contracts with that takes
Mhm.
care of the credit card. They can't even talk to me because I'm not on the account. I said, well, how do I get on the account? Well, we have to mail you a form that you've got to fill out. I said, you can't email it? No, we can't email it to you. You know, we've got to send it to you by snail mail. What's your street address? I said, well, it's 29 King Street. But I said, well, I don't think we get mail there. I said, I live in a town where we don't get mail delivered to our door. And I said, that happens. And so I said, we can't send it to a post office box. And I said, well, how the heck are we supposed to get the forms?
Yeah.
So I said, okay, try sending it to the King Street address. Maybe the post office, those folks will say, oh, that's the town of Port Royal. We'll just put it in box 29. That happens to me down in Urbana. That's mislabeled.
Mhm.
I'm hoping that's the case. But
We do, we all go through this,
Mhm.
everybody here.
but
And so what the clerk, well, the previous town
Mhm.
per postal person said is you put your street address and then you put the number 29, like
Yeah.
as an apartment or suite
That's-
number.
Yeah,
Well, I usually do /POB 214.
yeah, so it'll go one to
It's,
the
it's,
other.
yeah.
well, they didn't tell us that down in Urbana. That's
Yeah.
good news.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's new, because yeah, they used to send our stuff.
We had this one woman that really send back anything, even if she knew we were.
Before this last one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chris did too. Chris sent all
Did
my
he really?
stuff back.
I'm talking about the one after Chris. She didn't even care if it had your name on it. You were standing right in front of her
Oh,
and she sent it
yeah.
back.
Oh, yeah. Do you need to stand up?
No, stand up and take a break.
Yeah, I did get Rob Whitman involved to get us recognized. So if you guys were wondering, that's how we started showing up on the UPS sites. The problem is it's United States Postal Service is who is the one that makes us use the post office, says that we do not exist. And they are the #1 provider for address verification in the whole United States. And when I was calling to complain to them, they did the same thing to me. They said, well, what is your street address? And then I gave to them, they said, that doesn't exist. And I said, that's the reason I'm calling you. So
So
anyway,
do they exist now?
yes. I got Rob Whitman involved, Congressman Whitman, and he actually talked to the people up in Richmond, and that's when things started changing, when they weren't starting to send our stuff back. But the whole thing that got worse was because of the 9/11 terrorist act. And they said that anybody, basically in the law, that anybody who used the post office box was underhanded and shady.
Yeah.
And that's what really happened to us, and where things got so bad.
Well,
Okay.
Circling back, if I might, Vice Mayor, to my report, I
Mm-hmm.
omitted one thing.
Okay.
Yesterday, I sent in to DEQ, the Chesapeake Bay
Okay.
annual report. And I tried to work with Caroline County on getting some information about the health department and the planning department. And I'm not sure when you adopted your ordinance here, what steps were taken to get the information that DEQ needs, but Caroline, I think, has the ability to provide that, but they don't take it down to the town of Port Royal level. They have it for the whole Port Royal district. And so I reported that to DEQ, but I'm going to talk to planning director, and I'm going to talk to the health department again about, for example, on septic tank issues. That's the health department. Septic tank pump outs, which are supposed to happen every 5 years, is the county. And then land disturbances, the county on behalf of the town. So I've got to talk to the town, to Leon Hughes, the planning director, find out really what the county is doing for Port Royal. And if the county was never asked to do anything, then we need to ask them to do that.
Right,
So
because I'm not aware of any pump outs. I don't know if some of you all are.
they send letters out every 5 years because it's a 5-year program. And in talking to
And then
The
the
county, when we were in the county before the annex or the boundary line,
Mhm.
we would get notices up there on the hill.
Yep, and I think let's see, the last letter that went out was 2022 or 23. So
But
you're,
now that we're in the town up there,
yeah,
we don't,
yeah,
You're not getting them now?
mm-mm.
Because I know the one that's behind me is supposed to get it every 5 years, and
yeah. And
they have to come through my property to get to it, and they've never.
and since the whole town's on septic, it's probably a good idea to have a kind of a robust program.
Yeah, because we don't have public
Yeah.
here, that's all.
So I'll be working on, that's another issue to work on too.
Yeah. Every 5 years. Okay.
Are we gonna vote on that action item, please?
The town manager suggested that we postpone
Defer.
it to next month. Are we gonna vote on that?
I make a motion to defer it till next month. So he can research.
Say you can't get blood quicker.
Do we have a second? I'll second it. Any discussion?
Nope, no, that is gonna be discussed next time.
Vote. David, yes,
Yes.
Nope.
and Donna, no. Yes, Donna, no, Angie?
No,
Okay, and I'm gonna say yes, because I want to give town manager time to research. So 2-2, there is no decision. Because if we need to bring it up next month,
Yep.
we'll decide that. Okay. All right. Well, last thing on here is the discussion for the festivals. I know David had talked to me about it in the past that he would like to bring back festivals. Mr. Guzik said that he discussed it with HPR. HPR is excited about joining with the town to do festivals again. I know that when I was doing it, it was a very different thing. Those were not town funds that I was spending. So I just want to make sure that that was very clear. The town gave me $500 the first year as seed money for the festival. I set up the accounts, got the checks, everything. But that money was called seed money for me to raise. And so what I did was I sold things. David and I sold plants. We did other things. We went out and got donations. We sold vendor spots. And all that was done to raise the money for the fall festival. The goal at the time was for the town not to make any money. The goal was for the town to break even. And I did it for 8 years, and only 3 times did I have to come to the town to ask for money, and that was because of hurricanes. Each time where there was something that happened at the last minute, and I ended up having maybe a little shortage. The other years, all that money was used for 4th of July, we did the appreciation, any appreciations. We did the one for the gentleman that passed away recently, not Motley. Herb. We did Herb's event.
Herb Collins.
Herb Collins Day. We did the Christmas parties every year. We did the the Memorial Day. We did Memorial Day and Veterans Day. And so all of those things, that money came out of that fund. And so that fund, the money was raised all along. So this was not like we were spending the constituents' money. That money was raised and spaces were sold and donations were gathered. So there's one thing when the $500 was the seed money, and then we spent, so everything from the paying for the police to paying for the advertising to the publications, the brochures, all that money was raised, every bit of it. And paying the volunteers because we couldn't get a single person from this town to volunteer. Nobody would volunteer. The last year, I actually had to pay them $50 plus lunch for 4 hours of work. No one, and my arm was broken. And not one person came to help me that wasn't getting paid. So that's why I came to council and said, I'm not doing it for free anymore. Because I didn't charge anything, I didn't take anything, I actually spent money on the town.
And she did a lot of legwork.
And that's, yeah, we're talking, because we went and talked to Joelle Jordan about it, and she said to do 1 month's work, she wanted $3,000.
Who's this?
Joelle Jordan, she was the one doing the Bowling Green Festival.
That's what she was getting.
So what was she supposed to be doing for $3,000? The same thing you did for free?
Yep.
All the legwork and stuff?
She was going to get paid. She laughed because Sharon Farmer went with me, and she said, "How much work can we get from you for $1,000?" And Joelsa just laughed and said, "Nothing."
That's it, bye-bye.
So that's one reason why I said it got too big. Our festivals got really big. There wasn't enough room for parking here. We'd have to do off-site parking. If we're going to charge, $5 a head for these big events, or just charge for the shuttle buses to do an off-site parking, I mean, the town could make money, because that's what GP asked me. He's like, well, how come you're not bringing money into the town? I was like, because you all told me my goal was break even, not make money for the town. I mean, I had a little bit left over, which is what I used for the other stuff.
What about, you said off-site parking?
Mm-hmm.
Like where? Like outside of town?
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, there's property around they can park on. They can park on my property. I mean,
Well,
I
ran-
never know this. I don't have a problem with it.
we did that. We actually you had your dad's property before you sold it.
Yeah. But
We were going to use that one year, and then we made arrangements, but then it rained, and it got
I know it got so muddy.
It was
Yeah. I remember that year got really muddy.
Yep. So if it gets, I just want you guys to be aware of this, that I'm getting older too. And I just cannot do to that level. If you guys want to hire somebody, if you want to do it yourself and make a committee, I'll be happy to help. I still have all the files on my computers. I have all the names. I have all the pirates. We had 5 different pirate crews. We can bring pirates. We can do something different. I don't care.
But I do know I'm sorry.
I hate the poor being known for pirates and stuff like that.
I do know the people next to me with the 2 empty lots. I'll talk to them. They wouldn't have a problem with people parking
Right.
there. So that's 2 parking lots right there. So
Yeah, we just have to worry about liability though when people start parking on grass and stuff. I mean, it's just we did it last time. We just made sure that the insurance was going to cover it because we did have somebody fall. And
on the grass,
Step in a hole.
Yep.
there's lots of holes.
Yeah.
I step
Well,
in holes
it's
all
the
the time.
country.
yeah. So I mean, it's just a lot of things to think of.
I mean, it wouldn't be tough saying, I mean, that if we even go forward, it would be next
it would
year,
have to be
year
next
down the road.
because it takes so much time, like, with the pirates or with the bands and with, and the fact that we now have to have the police.
Mhm.
So I had to pay for them, and they're not cheap.
I do know that there's one guy who's I don't know if you want the actual police. I do know that there's a retired police officer living right across the street here.
Yeah, we went through the sheriff, and they gave us off-duty officers to come
Okay.
down. And they said we had to do that, and we need that sign out front that says event, that flashing sign that says event slow down. And then we had to have a police officer at each of the corners to make sure that people weren't driving through. So, and they charge. So,
I think the question for you all as a governing body is, okay, does Port Royal want to do a festival? If you
We
want
just need more input on it, right?
Yeah. If you want to do the festival, you've got to determine what the theme is going to be of the festival, when it's going to be, and it's not going to be this year. You know, I know from working with Bowling Green 2024, I guess, planning the Harvest Festival, they got lights, well, and that's a pretty systematic festival. I mean, everything's in place, but there's a lot of work, as you all know, that goes into it. And you want it to be as well done as possible, and you want to mitigate any liability that you might have as a town. So it's got to be well planned. So, you know, even if you were looking at the fall this year, you'd be looking at a very small festival.
we wouldn't have time to do it. I always started in February.
If there's an appetite for it, then start planning for it now. You know, talk to the groups that have an interest in it and say, okay, you know, how much.
I have a question. Instead of, I know you mentioned all the festivals we used to have and how much work it is to put how about just have one huge festival, an annual festival that Port Royal could be
Well, the
known.
reason we had to do it the other way is because we had to raise the money. Port Royal wasn't gonna pay for it. I had to raise the money, and that's why we were doing so many other events. Because I was selling spaces for the 4th of July. Remember we did the street
The
festival?
street festival to not interfere with.
Yes, it had to be on the backside of HPR.
How about if we raise the money for one big huge festival?
And then
We
I,
have money in our budget for festivity. Remember we did that last year?
I think it says you spent $1,276.
That was for the Christmas party alone, yeah.
Wow.
But you know, we had a whole buffet. And
That was the
everything.
Christmas before last.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I just wanted to explain how things work that time, because that's what I did. It started in February, and I sold slots for the July 4th event, which would give me the money to start doing the advertising and then move on for the big one. The big one with the bands and the prizes. And I don't know if you came the last year, we had mermaids and tanks. We had ponies. We had 5 different trips.
That's why I was surprised when I was like, wow, this is the best festival we ever had. And then it just
Yeah.
stopped.
Well,
Well, between my broken arm and my feelings hurt, but.
I mean, I didn't know. I was like, almost like,
I know, everybody.
people are fun, and people were dressing up.
Into the tent.
And people were dressing
And all
up.
the businesses wanted it to continue, because I still get people that say they want when the fire festival come back.
Well, I think,
But it started as the town's birthday.
right,
But then they wanted to do it in October. And then you've got
Everything else.
everything else.
Yeah.
Rob Level's the last one. Then you've got Bowling Green, and then King George is the second one. And somebody else was the first. And then we were competing with Stratford Hall. We actually had more hits on Facebook than Stratford Hall did for their Oyster Festival. We had over 1 million hits the last year. It had gotten really big. So this is just something to start
Just to
thinking
think
about.
about.
Is it something we want to do? It is a lot of work.
I think, like you said, to get people that would volunteer, to have a committee, so it doesn't all fall on you.
I
It doesn't
tried
all-
and tried and tried. And, you know, for people out of the area,
We have new people now in town, so.
yeah. And Bill has said he wants to do it.
mhm.
And he said he's going to get HBR. So maybe
That's what I was
people
gonna
from
say,
HBR would volunteer.
I mean,
A couple people here, a couple people there.
And David has said he's interested. And I don't mind helping out. I just don't want it to be all on me, because it became like a full-time job.
plus you had a full time.
Christmas party was a lot. So I
Yeah.
Well, we don't have to worry about that anymore because fire department.
Are they?
Yeah, they did.
we're doing that.
Turned out real good.
That's good. That's good. Because, yeah, the Christmas party was hard because I ended up having to coordinate everybody. We had to have
The county.
Caroline's promise, the county, the guy from Parks and Rec. I had to go hit all 3 churches and HBR and somebody else and trying to get everybody to show up and everybody to do their part. It was a lot.
Okay,
But we can do it whatever we want, as long, and since they have set aside a budget for festivals now, I don't know how much we want to put in it, but it's totally different than when I was told I had to raise the money. So it's like, you can do whatever, that's exactly what I was told. You can do whatever you want, but you have to raise the money.
all right.
Just call the council's attention real quick. You got 2 attachments.
Mhm.
One is good news for from historic Port Royal, that they get a grant from the state. Don't know how much it is, but they've actually begun talking about, next steps in the renovation process, so which is, I think, great for you folks. The last one is not so good, and I'm gonna talk to the county about this, I guess, this week. Plastics. You've heard a lot about plastics
Right.
in drinking water and in your body and going into your brain and things like that. Well,
Mhm.
do groundwater system sampling requirements for systems of 10,000 or fewer persons. And I'm not sure what the county is doing as far as sampling right now, but I'm going to check with them because you've got some sampling to start doing and have completed by April 26th of 2027. To see where you stand. You got plenty of room on that. It's just it's another requirement that's going to be falling on your drinking water system. So, just information for right now.
You do remember that. Oh, we
That
gotta
is-
remember that.
Well,
We don't wanna wait till the last minute.
No,
Mhm.
you're already gonna talk to
Joey,
Joe, yeah,
Mhm.
okay.
And make sure you put it on the to-do list and calendar with maybe a year prior reminder. So this is good with the Lyceum. You know, the Lyceum is the brick building,
Yeah,
so hopefully that will be good. There are some other issues with one of my neighbors that has like 10 trucks in their courtyard now, and there's no fence. Not that it's huge, not that it's anything you have to deal with right now. I just want to bring it to your attention in case you get a complaint.
are they licensed?
I don't know.
Oh,
yeah, if they're not licensed, that's an immediate action item.
you mean
Yep.
behind you
To the side of me.
in the trailer?
Uh-huh. He might be selling them quickly, turn around, I don't know, but he's got
Not the
like,
business, he needs a license.
he does
Right.
not have a business as far as I know.
Needs one, that's what he's doing.
But he has,
Do all the
Yeah.
trucks look the same or they just all different trucks?
he's got a red one, a blue one, a brown one, a green one, a silver one. Got 2
Yeah.
tow dollies over there right now. And I know Bill Henderson gets very, very concerned about stuff like that, so. And even my hubby mentioned it to me. And also the trailer people across the street got a whole load of trailers. They sold about 10 already today in one day.
Sold 10 more.
Trailers. They do good, I don't know what they're doing, but
The
they're.
ones across the street?
Yeah,
Oh,
they're expensive too.
And so they say their businesses, home businesses in North Carolina. So I don't even know if they have it. I don't know, you'll have to check on all that.
Check on that.
T&L, right? Is that what it's called?
Yeah, they do have something here.
yeah, they have business license.
But I don't know if they're claiming everything they're supposed to.
Yeah, so their home base is in North Carolina.
Okay,
Is that it?
I make a motion, we adjourn.
Second.
So Randall, Donna,
Yes.
Yes.
Angie,
Yeah.
David, yes, unanimous, motion to adjourn. Thank you guys for dealing with that. Thank you for being so accommodating.